The curator and indeed the inspiration behind this Wild Geese exhibition is the silversmith Kevin Dwyer, a man with very strong Irish-American roots. He was actually born in the States and has come back here to live. Geraldine Harney went to meet up with him and to have a look at some of the incredible work he's produced over the years.
Just outside of Tullamore is the home and studio of renowned silversmith Kevin O'Dwyer and his family. But Kevin is not originally from Offaly. Indeed, he is not from Ireland at all.
Well, I was born in Lindenhurst, Long Island, New York, and my dad and mom decided to move back. My dad was from Tipperary and decided to move back to Ireland. And so we arrived when I was around 14 years of age and built a home in Cashel in County Tipperary. And there I went to the CBS school there and then went on to study at Waterford Institute of Technology and qualified in biochemistry.
After graduating from Waterford, Kevin made his way to London first and then headed back to the US. There he trained to be a silversmith. Along the way he met his wife Adele, a musician. They both decided that Ireland was where they wanted to live.
Adele and myself moved to Dublin in 1986. And Adele took up a position with the National Symphony at that stage. And so I set up my workshop there, and it just suited us at that stage. And we had both our children were born in Dublin. But about 10 years ago, we decided that we'd like to move out into the country and give up my children the same opportunity that I had living in Cashel when I was growing up. So we started looking around various parts within a catchment area of about 60 miles of Dublin, and we found this beautiful place just outside of Tullamore in the townslands of Durrow. And so we purchased it and we set up our studios here. Well, I mostly work on unique pieces. They're very much of my own personality, and I have a great love and interest in prehistoric art right up into and then into contemporary architecture. So I kind of play off a number of those elements. I can use very structured pieces and then very whimsical and flowing forms. So all the work that I do is all handwork. So it starts off as either silver ingot or silver sheet, and then the pieces are constructed, they're hammered, they're raised, they're shaped into the various forms. So it's fairly time consuming, and you're working with heat and you're working with the metal, and it is a process of just shaping and forming, and a lot of patience tied into the actual work itself.
Kevin's work is varied, from teapots to candlesticks to sculptured pieces to women's jewellery.
My jewellery collection has evolved over the years, and they're very simple sculptural forms. They are all about light and the reflections of light, and very three-dimensional in the way that they work. And a lot of times they are the prototypes for much larger pieces. I will start developing some ideas, forging out some forms that will actually turn into much larger pieces, more sculptural pieces.
As you would expect, Kevin's pieces are not just sold internationally, they have been snapped up by several museums.
Yeah, my work is internationally, it's shown quite a bit. I have galleries that represent me in the States, in Chicago, and New York, and in Vail, Colorado, and places like that. I have a gallery in Dublin that represents me now, the Ablana Gallery on Bagot Street, which has a nice collection of my work. But I do a lot of exhibition work. I'm invited to show at a lot of exhibitions and touring exhibitions as well. And have some really wonderful museums that now have a series of my work that have followed my work over a number of years.
In addition, Kevin has created some wonderful pieces for some special people.
I've been very lucky in that I've had some great opportunities to make some beautiful pieces. Probably the one that I think about often is when President Mary Robinson asked me to make a special piece for the inauguration of Nelson Mandela. And that was a wonderful forged candelabra in which to I forged two pieces that came into one candlestick, and that whole idea of the nation coming together. And that was presented by President Robinson. But I've also had opportunities to make work for King Carl Gustaf of Sweden, a beautiful coffee service for him, as well as a number of museum pieces that have been commissioned over the years. And it's always great to have that type of opportunity.
Kevin O'Dwyer is now one of the leading silversmiths in the world. Just last month, the New York magazine Irish America chose him as one of the top 100 inspirational Irish Americans. And after you see his work, well, it's no wonder.
Congratulations are in order, because in this hot off the presses edition of Irish America magazine, Kevin Dwyer is numbered among the top 100 best and brightest Irish Americans. Kevin, well done. Congratulations.
No, thank you very
much.
much.
What does that mean to you?
It was very exciting to get that type of recognition, especially from the Irish America magazine, because they recognize people over a number of years, both in humanitarian, the arts, in all different areas in the Irish, in the Irish American community.
Now, you're the curator of this Wild Geese exhibition. Where did the idea come from?
It's been on my mind for quite a while, because I've exhibited extensively over in the United States for years, though living over here, and I've met a number of Irish American makers, of really high quality. So when I had the opportunity, when I was talking to Vincent O'Shea here, the gallery director, and we were talking about curating a show, I had said this would be a fantastic show. So it was a great opportunity, to expose the Irish to this Irish American craft work.
And what was the reaction of the artists in the States when you suggested to them that they might come back?
They absolutely loved it.
Did they?
The enthusiasm, nobody said no, and they all got very excited about it. It was a great opportunity for them to actually participate in something where they have a connection. Many of them have never been over here before, but so it gave them an opportunity as well. As I was saying, like 16 of the 20 actually arrived over here for the opening. So it gave them a great excuse to come over here and kind of connect with what's, their diaspora, that whole side, yeah.